Muri yeZimbabwe tiripo tichinyaya 2030 tichinyangadza bill number 3 rakamira kuti rinyatso kupinda muparliament zvakanaka. Politics debate iri pahigh right now. Jonathan Moyo is one of the people who is the top leader ari kusaidhi kwaED chako apa ndi lawyer achizama kuda kupinda achishandisa mutemo achishandisa chii, but magenerals maretired generals ari kuramba achibuda achisapotana. So right now muri yeZimbabwe tina general retired lieutenant general Winston Sigauke Winston Sigauke Mapuranga vapindira vachishora Jonathan Moyo nenyaya yekuti wakaataka Marshal Henry Muchena. And so vatichi retired lieutenant general Winston vataura ivo vachiti paX, inzwai, Jonathan Moyo should sit down. A professor who never held a gun has no business lecturing freedom fighters about the liberation struggle. Vaenda mberi vachiti ivo, I have read with contempt the document authored by Jonathan Moyo attacking Air Marshal retired Henry Muchena and his co-signatories, my fellow combatants and liberation war veterans, as embarrassingly ignorant. Ukaona magenerals akutaura achidai so, because mufana without this language now is the military language. They are calling each other nema codes inzwai imiraiti kudzokorera apa. And I have read with contempt the document authored by Jonathan Nathaniel Moyo attacking Air Marshal retired Henry Muchena and his co-signatories, my fellow combatants and liberation war veterans, as embarrassingly ignorant, illiterate, uninformed and cowardly. Muri Zimbabwe, the whole military now feels offended nemashoko aJonathan Moyo ekushora macomrade sevanhu vasina kudzidza. Kana again, if you look at this statement muri Zimbabwe, remember zvaitaugwa naComrade Geza achiti Mnangagwa wakamaka macomrades, zvati Mnangagwa disregards comrades, unovaona sevanhu vasina kudzidza. Even kana ukateerera mastatement aMnangagwa achitaura achiti macomrade vanhu vanoteerera. Statement irororo rinokuudza zvakawanda kuti chaanoda from a comrade, it's just that loyalty, kuti iwo teerera zvandiri kuita ini, hauna opinion. So muri Zimbabwe kushedza macomrades kumati macowards, vanhu vakabata futi kuti vaende kuhondo ndo vari kuti iwo makwara. Anyway, regai tiende mberi nezviri kutaurwa na retired lieutenant general Mapuranga. I want to address Jonathan Moyo directly, man to man, and with the full weight of my record. Jonathan Moyo did not fight in the liberation struggle. He did not carry a weapon in the bush. He did not bury comrades. He did not survive Zipra or Zandla training camps. He did not go to sleep hungry in Mozambique or Zambia, wondering whether the next dawn would bring a Rhodesian airstrike. He arrived on a Zimbabwe's political scene as an academic, a propagandist, and ultimately a fugitive who fled this country in disgrace after stealing from a public fund meant for the education of Zimbabwe's children. For this man, handi muri kuona muri Zimbabwe chichiitika ndechekuti mhosva dzaJonathan Moyo dziri kutaurwa futi nzvakaba yakaita sei, zvichireva kuti regime ikakarika yachinja kana kuti anything chikakarika chaitika, Jonathan Moyo haasi kuzodzoka because already ari kuataka change inogona kumubatsira kudzoka kuZimbabwe, because right now already ari kuzama kugadzira bhuku, but he is not in the country. It's unfortunate. We want him back in the country. Let's go kumberi muri Zimbabwe nezvataugwa na lieutenant retired. For this man, this professor of political survival and personal reinvention, to call Henry Muchena a decorated Air Marshal of the Zimbabwe Air Force cowardly and illiterate is not merely offensive, it is obscene. On the liberation struggle, Moyo knows what he read. We know what we lived. Jonathan Moyo is a clever man. He reads widely, he writes fluently, he can cite the World Bank, the Berlin Wall, Fletcher v. Peck, Article 326 of the Indian Constitution and the 15th Amendment of the United States. We do not dispute that he is educated, but there is a difference, a vast, unbridgeable difference between reading about a struggle and having fought in it. Muri Zimbabwe ndo handi mugwa language yakadai so ilanguage yekuti if you attack one comrade you have attacked all. Anogona ataura Jonathan Moyo asingaoni kuti ari kutoataka macomrade ose ende kana ukatanga ukataka macomrade ose uri kuita kuti vabatane. Right, let's go mberi munzwe zviri kutaura general. When Moyo lectures us about what one man, one vote meant during the Liberation War, he is quoting from books. When retired Marshal Mchena, myself and our comrades speak about it, we are speaking from lived memory, from the rallies, the camps, the political commissar sessions, the sacrifices and the funerals. We were there. Moyo was not. The liberation struggle's rallying cry of one man, one vote was not a constitutional law seminar. It was a moral and political declaration to the people of Zimbabwe, black Zimbabweans who had been denied any meaningful say in who governed them, that their voice would count directly and fully in choosing their leaders. That is what we told the masses. That is what motivated men and women to take up arms, to leave their families, to die. Moyo can dress it in whatever comparative constitutional framework he wishes. He cannot rewrite what the people had, believed, and bled for. Muri Zimbabwe muri kunzwa nyaya iyi kuti yakadzika uye yakadzama kusvika papi. Muri kuzvinzwira imimi kuti macomrade ari kutosumuka achitaura zvaari kutaura izvi, and they really talking from the soul. Unonyatso kuzvinzwa kuti haasi mafanisi. People bled for this, as the general is saying. So regai tiende kumberi. On Mchena and his co-signatories, Moyo sneers at those who signed alongside retired Air Marshal Mchena as incognito and cowardly. I know who some of those men are. They are not cowards. They are veterans who have earned the right to speak on these matters 10 times over, and who, unlike Moyo, Professor, have not spent a portion of their lives explaining to a court why they misappropriated $6 million from the Zimbabwe Manpower Development Fund, ZIMDEF. Their choice to remain unnamed is a matter of personal discretion, not cowardice. Moyo, who himself fled Zimbabwe in the dead of night in November 2017 and sought asylum in Kenya, is the last person on this earth qualified to lecture anyone about courage. General Vamwe, I do not intend to engage exhaustively with Moyo's constitutional arguments. Others are doing so. What I will say is this: the question of how Zimbabwe's president should be elected is a legitimate national debate. Reasonable people, including veterans, hold different views on this. General vabva muri Zimbabwe muri kunyatso kuzvinzwa imimi kuti mageneral ari kutosimuka achitobatana. This is retired Lieutenant General Winston Sigauke Mapuranga. So tripo pano pa Zim State Watch muri Zimbabwe, as the debate continues, as the debate rises and tensions rise, munenge muchinzwa updates, every updates pano, because we give you factual news. Stay tuned.